For the past 2 years, Malawi has experienced a number of catastrophes such as cyclones. The development has left thousands of Malawians requiring short, medium or long-term assistance to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030. And speaking during the first ever Malawi Partners Summit, President Lazarus Chakwera said Malawi lost $506 million worth of property, hence the Malawi Partners Conference, which aims at collecting $680 million for reconstruction and recovery.
Now, there was hope that this target was in sight when the growth projection for Malawi's economy was set at 5.4%, but that hope was dashed when 4 cyclones, 1 drought, a global pandemic, a nationwide cholera outbreak, and a war in Eastern Europe all conspired to cut that projection down to less than 1%. And when you add to this conspiracy of shocks the distressing and unsustainable debt that my administration inherited, what you have is a fiscal space so limited that there can be no possibility of growth without a global coalition of partners.
Keynote speaker at the conference, Jeffrey Sachs, Managing Director for World Bank, Anna Bjede, and African Development Fund ADB representative agreed on the need to support Malawi in its rebuilding effort. Earlier in the day, President Chakwera attended the opening of the Clinton Global Initiative annual event on multisectoral deliberations on food insecurity and building resilient food systems. In his speech, the president asked executives who graced the occasion to support Malawi's agriculture sector. And few minutes later, after the meeting, President Lazarus Chakwera led Malawians in hosting the African Investment Forum, where he was joined by his Mozambican counterpart, Filipe Nyusi, and Lesotho Prime Minister. The Malawi leader urged Africans in diaspora to invest back home for the socio-economic transformation of the continent.
In order to reduce the cost and time of trade across borders, we are constructing one-stop border posts with our neighboring countries, namely Tanzania, Zambia, and Mozambique. So Malawi is a land of opportunities. The Malawi Investment and Trade Center, MITC, and our one-stop service, this is our one-stop service center, is here to share specific opportunities. And as I speak, we want to help the U.S. business operations in Malawi scale up.
The conference was organized by MAST, Enyo International, and the National Forum for Black Public Administrators, as well as Malawi office at the United Nations. An hour later, Dr. Chakwera proceeded to attend the Concordia Summit, where he participated in a panel discussion together with businessman Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayami. The discussion centered on infrastructure development as an engine for developing trade in Africa. The president said the future of Africa depends on Africans to develop its infrastructure and grow trade.
Infrastructures that we need, the structure has to be one that is legislative. Because many times, without the laws that govern the movement of people and goods in place across Africa, when they are too restrictive and expensive, it makes it impossible for people to really operate within such laws. So we in Africa, we need to streamline customs procedures. We need to reduce trade barriers. We need to simplify import and export processes in order to enhance intra-Africa trade.
And earlier, the Malawi leader was among heads of state and government who attended the official opening of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, where the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres asked leaders to promote peace and unity for development to flourish on the continent. Dr. Chakwera is expected to deliver his statement on Thursday. Blessings Kanache, NBC News, New York, United States of America.